Bring my volume up. There we go.
Avoid illegal snags by telling people. Avoid illegal snags, telling people they are being recorded.
Has it begun?
I think so. Yes, we are recording.
Hello, Justine.
Hello, babes. Yeah. Okay. I know.
The fact that I'm on this call is almost a miracle. I've been almost in tears about a couple times today, but really just because I've been triggered like a motherfucker. By the way, welcome back, everybody. Take what resonates, leave the rest.
Leave the rest, please.
Yeah.
There are more important issues in the world than taking us seriously.
Yeah. Exactly. Although, I mean, part of my trigger is yeah, just people fucking around with my time, you know, being disrespectful with time, and yeah, just the masculine again. I'm like just deep in this masculine stuff, and it's irritating me so much.
Okay, but what?
No, it's this client, you know, it's this, that I'm sure I've spoken about it on one of the shows, but where I was like, listen, called out of my personal capacity and said, look, you know, you really triggered me. This was not cool. I'm calling you out of my personal capacity to tell you so. And it's just been a rigmarole since. And, you know, one of this person's particular issues is restraining orders, and I now know why. I mean, I knew before, but yeah, I just, anyway. What's coming?
Yeah, no, the rain. It's beautiful. Oh no, nothing's coming yet. Maybe something will come in today. But I've also been
just boundaries, you know, like if I say no, it means no. And it just like, I guess I'm just feeling the masculine of like, I don't even know. It's like, I guess that's a good question. It's like, what is the difference between a narcissist versus a I don't know if psychopath is the right word, like, because it's like these people, they bulldoze, you know.
I have one word for that. Block.
Yes, I mean, I have. And then I left out one little thing and boom, there it comes. And I was just like, as I said, this is an infringement on my private space. Block.
Okay, well, then I have the second word for that. The second word, three words. Very good attorney.
I was going to say, fuck right off.
No, look, sometimes, I mean, I had that experience with my ex-wife and her previous, my ex-wife of 10 years. So we were married 10 years. But initially when we met, I mean, she was going out with this very manly man, like 6 times bigger than what I am. You know, size, big dude.
Yeah.
And anyway, she had come, you know, I was in Johannesburg looking after my mother who was not very well. And she came, she had to stay with me, and the ex just couldn't accept that she had left him for a woman.
Yeah.
And it was like 150 phone calls a day.
Yeah.
And I think for 3 days she kept on saying, she was bitching about it. And, you know, she'd answer 1 or 2 calls or whatever. She was like engaging in that, you know. And after the 3rd day, I just said, look, I can't take this shit. You want to be here with me? You be here with me. If you want to go back to him, go back to him. But if you're here with me, you're here with me. You're not with him. Yes, but I don't know how to handle all these 150 phone calls. It's one of those manic episodes, you know, where people phone you like 200 times a day. Anyway, I just popped over to my lawyer in Rosebank. I walked into her office and I said, Annika, I have a bit of a problem. This dude just, you know, he's a little bit psycho, because he also used to drive with her in the car, and he was so possessed over her. He would say, okay, I'm gonna smash the car into something now, drive it off the cliff, you know. You know, those possessive masculine types. Anyway, so I gave it to my lawyer. I said, this is his number. She phoned him and she promptly said, look, if you contact my client or her partner at any time, in any moment, in any dimension,
yeah, I mean, I've done those.
You're going to be very sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Do not dream about me. Do not call me into astral. Do not pray about me. Do not pray for me. I do not exist in your reality, you know?
Okay, well, I think this presence is quite profound or abundant at the moment, because I've just been talking with friends of mine.
Yeah.
Not even clients, friends of mine that are having this masculine issue.
Yeah, you know, and then so with this particular masculine, it's like a block. You are not listening to the no, you know, and of course he has all this psychological know-how and ins and outs of what I'm doing and da 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 da, and I was just like, that's your reality. Nothing I say is going to change your reality, so you stick to that, you know. And then the other side of the masculine is like my dearest ex, Julian, who you literally cannot get hold of, cannot communicate with. And I'm just like, it's just like these polarities being played out in the masculine. And then of course my father being ill. So there's just a lot of masculine stuff right now that I'm like bearing witness to and watching. And it's intense. It's fucking intense, because of course with any witnessing of anything, one further reveals more about themselves, you know. And yeah,
well, I think it's a prominent theme now. And remember, we've discussed this quite a bit, but we've mentioned it in Galactical Conversations with regards to the aspects of the divine feminine, which is far evolved.
Yeah.
And hang on. Let me put it this way. Let me rephrase that. A lot of feminine energy within the divine feminine is highly evolved, where it's kind of like not completely balanced with respect to the divine masculine, divine feminine. But the feminine energy is quite strong, and it's positive.
Yeah.
You know, so there's this influence, and the greatest influence, and you can see this, where this masculine domination, okay, this need to be right, this need to be heard, this need to be, I'm right, I don't care what you say, I don't care what you do, this is what I say, and this is how it is Putin. So that energy is already there on a
macrocosmic scale. Yeah,
yes.
I mean, it's all coming tumbling down. And we've spoken about this in other sessions of ours, but you know, it's like when the light shines in on the dark, we have to watch it dissolve and squirm away, you know. And that's what's happening, you know. Again, in the plant medicine community, there's more and more and more information that I'm finding out, not because I'm looking for it, just because, you know, it's got to dissolve, about masculines fucking around with women in ceremony space and doing the most atrocious things. And then these women, you know, standing in their strength and calling said custodians of whoever they've brought through, and these guys going, oh well, you know, it's not really their their culture to, you know, there's a different culture thing, and the masculine are just fucking nowhere at the moment from my perspective. And then I sit in tears today because I'm like, I just called in Kuan Yin. I was like, Kuan Yin, please, please just allow me to sit in a tiny bit of compassion here, because of course it's crumbling. It's crumbling. They're being squeezed, but geez, like, it's like, I guess I'm tired of being mother, you know, I'm tired of that mother energy. And I'm
Yes,
just like,
but Kuan Yin is I'm on. I've had how do I put this?
I know you work with her quite a lot.
Yes, but I've had very intimate goings on with Kuan Yin in many of my past, one of my past lives.
Oh yeah.
So, and I mean, she's, look, there's a sense of compassion to a point.
Of course.
At some point, and we've spoken about this, the effects of karma. So you can hold that compassion for yourself,
yes,
and for the world at large, and for planet Earth, right?
Yeah.
But when there is a situation where something is not right, and people ignore it. When I say people ignore it, I mean those women that are being abused and offended against, because that is abuse, it's sexual abuse. And in some instances it's sexual harassment. If they are unable to come to the fore because of shame or guilt or
gaslighting,
whatever the case may be, there's various things that can be that you can go through, that affects your karma. It affects your karma because it's your responsibility to bring that kind of behavior to the fore.
Balance, yeah.
And even if you are unable to address it yourself, when I mean that, because not everybody is of the same nature, of the same sanskara, right? Everybody has different natures. If you are unable to bring it to the fore and confront that person, and you know, go to the papers, go to the courts, you know, lay a charge against them, go to the police, lay a charge, whatever the case may be, then it's important to talk about it to somebody else who might assist you or might present that case on your behalf.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
You know, but this masculine thing has been going on for thousands of years. Let me tell you, it's nothing. When I say nothing has changed, there's an aspect to the male counterpart that has aligned, but the basic animal instinct and that sense of domination is still very much very much
the program,
very much in the reality of 3D.
Yeah, of course, yeah, of course. And every time I look at politics as an example, you know, understanding the multidimensional nature of our reality and the games that we're all playing, it's like we play, you know, for example's sake, I play Medicine Woman Angel or whatever. You play whatever you play, cops and robbers, they play politicians with bombs and briefcases, or bankers, bombs and briefcases. And I'm just like, often I'm just perplexed at how much energy goes into war, let's say it, instead of solution orientated aspects that I think any pre-grader could come up with. But
okay, well, I have two words for that: power,
money. Yeah, of course.
I just take a prime example of Pfizer. Okay, now this is an institution that's supposed to, okay, it's a medical institution, and we all know that on the greater scheme of things, that a great percentage of the world population is in dire straits because they are putting medical influences into their body that are not solving the issue, right? Okay. However, you do require certain medicines for certain cancers, you know, for medical treatments, you need certain medication to assist and help the body to get through each day and to maintain a certain level of functioning, right? What you do after that on a spiritual level or from a health perspective is an added benefit. But when you have institutions like Pfizer, right, where there was a paper that was published, I think, last week, 2 weeks ago,
yes,
with regards to 1,283 different symptoms, and these symptoms are not like a sore toe, or like, you know,
yeah,
my eyebrows growing like, you know, in the wrong direction.
Yeah, no,
you know, these are serious, and we've discussed this on the show about how these people don't even know what they're putting into their body.
Yes.
So the paper was published, and they try to defend that and keep it hidden for 70 years, which it's come out now.
Yeah.
And just a few days ago, obviously with the paper being out, Pfizer has delisted from the New York Stock Exchange because they know their share price is going to go to shit.
Sure. Yeah.
However, this is what I'm talking about. And this is demons. These are the demons of the world that operate on a human level. And I'm believe me, when I say this, I've experienced this, I've seen it in different dimensions. In this dimension, these are demons that this company alone last year, okay, and they've known of the side effects and how it's going to affect people. 38, and they still go and take their company off the New York Stock Exchange because they know they're going to lose money. So they've done it quickly. $38 billion last year.
Of course. Of course. Of course.
So this is also the masculine. It's the masculine because those board of directors, I can say that 98% of board of directors or the influence of great and prestigious organizations, financial, medical, scientific, the majority of leadership is male.
Yes. Yeah.
Is being led by this male domination, and it's about power, and it's about money.
I know. It's like yeah. You know, and I guess it's like I'm just sitting here going.
So what
one would say I've been in a slightly dark space, also having been a little bit ill, but I'm also just like, you know, it's nice when you're cruising and you're flying with your spiritual work, but often when you're up against demonic giants, as we speak of, you feel very insignificant as the starseed at home doing its individualized work. When you're low, when you're feeling lower than usual. So today has been one of those days for me, everybody. Starseeds. But I know that I'm not the only one, and I know I will rise from it. But also,
I think an important aspect about these, you know, and we drew the cards for the month of Feb, was the aspect of how to deal with these dark, the shadow side of not only the shadow aspects of individuals, the shadow aspect of a society, the shadow aspect of corporations or the global aspect, the shadow side of masculine, feminine. And it's
the sun and the moon.
It's important to get clarity on how that affects you, because those are triggering points. Yes. Okay. So you're consciously aware that this is triggering me. But it's also an important aspect. It shows you of where you stand in your power.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
You know,
it's also you know, in my personal space, I feel like there's just so many endings. And I think I might actually be going to Europe this year. You know, it's like rental coming to an end, this coming to an end. and then in the workspace as well. And by workspace, I mean living in Cape Town, as amazing as the frequency is, it's just, I'm also feeling tired of I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, there's just so many healers, and the oversaturation is the word I'm looking for. The oversaturation of healing modalities and retreats and workshops and all of this in Cape Town, which is amazing. It's beautiful, amazing. But I realize again that I need to start speaking, and I don't know, I just feel like I'm stepping into a new aspect of my coding soon.
Yes.
And it's like part of the channeling where I've spoken about wanting to channel on stage very particularly, and it's got to do with the speaking, and it's like I'm seeing it before it's happening, and I'm dreaming it before it's happening, and I just don't know how. Yeah, it's a very interesting space. My dream space premonition is so interesting, because while I've been in fever, so the night before I had fever, I dreamt I had fever blisters. Next day I had fever. Then obviously I've had stomach stuff. Excuse me, guys, but this is the show. But then the next night, so like it's like, okay, cool, moving between constipation and spasms and nothingness, and then then diarrhea, then waiting for all of this to come out and unfold. Then the night before my intestinal tract is actually able to absorb something, I dream of taking a big, beautiful shit. Tomorrow's going to be fine.
Good. Tomorrow's going to be a good day.
But I was also dreaming of like CEOs and corporate men and women like sleeping on the streets and having it was just an interesting dream. And last night I was in some time, it was very interesting, like I got trapped in a time, I don't know what to call it, like a
time warp
within my dream. So I was supposed to be, whatever task I was doing, it seemed like I was doing it for an hour. And when I came out of that task, it had been like 8 hours of me doing that task. And I was actually quite a little bit pissed off, because I was just like, well, how is that possible if I wasn't even conscious of it? Where have those 7 hours gone? So that was interesting. And it was just something like I was washing dishes, but I was like, so I've been washing dishes for 8 hours in this multidimensional whatever. It was very interesting.
That's an interference.
Interesting.
It's almost like a pullback.
Yeah.
So
because I should have been moving on in this,
yes,
in this space, and it wouldn't allow me to.
It's a pullback, yeah. It's an interference. You need to be careful when you
Sleeping. Be careful when you're sleeping, guys. For fuck's sake.
Look, when you before you go to sleep, this is a good practice. Before you go to sleep, you institute a protection.
Yeah.
Because you never know, like I say, that's a time warp.
Yeah.
And there's something that comes in and that pulls you back. And you never know what's been done to you in those 7 hours.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm speaking from experience. Not that I've done that, but I know from intergalactical work this stuff happens, guys.
Yeah.
So you need to, it's part of your spiritual practice.
Of course, I know, it's like becoming eternally conscious at all points in time.
Yes. It's like when I go to bed, I put a special field around the house, not only around the house, on top of the house.
Yeah. I mean, I usually do my pillow of light before I go to sleep. But it's interesting, because there comes a point where you're constantly, or for someone like me, it's like the more you institute those things, it's like you're constantly speaking to that which I cannot see, or that which you cannot see, to institute these protective fields or clearing your fields, and it's constant. It's just constant. It's
No,
not
and no, it doesn't. And the thing is that it could evolve. Let's just say, I'm going to give you an example. My personal example, like my somebody came to my house this week. Was it this week? Flushed the toilet and it got blocked. I rest my case. Okay? No. But listen to what I'm saying. Okay? It's talking about the energy there.
Yes.
Okay? Then yesterday, my next door neighbor across the road came over to have a chat because I've sold my house.
Yes.
So I have to be out by the end of April. And anyway, so she came to say goodbye, and she sat down and she brought a bottle of wine, and I haven't touched alcohol for the last 3 months. So I literally took the cap of the wine.
Yes.
The cap, you know how you pour a tot of whiskey?
Yes.
And I poured a cap in.
Yes.
And I had a bit of wine, and this morning I woke up with a blockage in one of my chakras in my feet.
Yeah.
But also pertaining to a certain energy that was in the house.
Yes.
So
no, but that's what I'm saying. It begins to get, dare I say it, a little ridiculous from the perspective of others, and possibly your own at a certain point in time, or where you're like, this is just, it's so much. It's I get it. I get it. But when your energy is a bit low and you are feeling that attack energy coming in, when you said to me the other day, I was like, me. You were like, rest and clear your energy field. I was like, I cannot even sit up, lady. But the next day I did. I mean, I went to the ocean, and then all of a sudden, as I was in the ocean, I turned around. There were hundreds of people on the beach, and I actually felt like I was having a bit of a panic attack. And I was like, no, I need to get off the beach now. Like, I went to the water for the cleansing, but because it was a weekend, the beach was so full. Because my energy is still in repair mode. It was too much for me, and I've just been lying down for 9 days, everybody. So starseeds, if this is what's happening to you at the moment, please don't feel like there's anything wrong with you. Remember, we've got a big full moon and equinox coming up as well, which I know something is happening there, particularly for myself.
Well, this is the full moon is a good time to start releasing.
Yeah.
Because I think an influence of this February month we spoke about was the presence of reflection. Seeing how things are influencing your life, how you are triggered, what you're not happy with, just really paying attention. And this full moon will be a great time to light a big fire. Don't burn the forest down, please, guys. Put it in a whatever, or do a ceremony to release that which you have reflected upon, that which doesn't serve you anymore. The aspects of your triggers with the masculine, because it's actually not divine masculine. You can't call it that.
No,
it's masculine.
No, it's masculine.
And to put it out there that you don't want to deal with these people.
Yeah.
Why would you want to deal with it?
Yeah.
So your intention, your release, is to clear the path and for honorable masculines with integrity and a great sense of balance and openness and to present themselves, not this toxic waste. That's what I call them, toxic waste.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know me, I don't mince my words. And I mean,
No.
you know, the thing is, I have great respect for humanity, but at the end of the day, people need to start really getting their shit together, especially masculines that think they're gonna override the feminine. It's just it's not happening, guys. Your time is coming to a very abrupt end.
Yeah, you know, and the woman, it's just so, it's interesting because through the battle of us going, please will you receive my sacred no, and their inner child wounds and all of that, you know, it moves us potentially as feminine into toxic femininity, where we have to be like,
well, it's toxic.
We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. So again, here is a warning for the feminine who are dealing with this. Stand your ground, as in, and I've done a little video on this morning, because I started recording it and I was like, no, and then I was like, and then I was like, no, and then I was like, no. They're 2-minute videos, like, where I'm like, stand your ground, say what you need to say, and then come back into your feminine, where you can just be like, you're good by you, you know.
Because it's an aspect of continuously defending yourself.
Exactly.
And that's
and freedom is not having to explain yourself.
Yeah, and that's coming. I mean, you can see it around the world. And I give you an example. On the odd occasions that I've just gone on and watched aspects of this Russian and Ukrainian issue, because I pick up, like this morning, last night I picked up something was going on. Then I went onto the news this morning and I see Russia has done another airstrike. So I've noticed that a lot of the reporters in the war zones are women.
Interesting.
I've seen one male and 7 or 8 other journalists in, you know, with the whole fucking thing. Journalists, all female.
Wow.
The Ukrainian women, and I'm not saying women in the army, I'm just saying women, mothers, athletes, ballerinas, Ukrainian ballerinas that are, you know, that are famous, standing there with guns defending their country. So, you know, you need to understand that you don't need to
explain yourself.
You don't need to explain yourself and stand there continuously, time and time after. Sorry, I'm just trying to get rid of the screen.
You know, in a beautiful way of beginning to, I think, you know, to embody these things is important, right? And I feel like a nice, easy way to do it is when you feel like you need to respond to someone immediately on social media or a messaging app. You do not need to respond immediately. Obviously, analyze the flow, but you know, a lot of people think you're there 24/7 for them, and it's not entirely true. And this is what I said to this particular masculine as well. I said, I don't owe you anything. Much like a messaging system, if you see that I've read the message and you don't receive a response from me in my sovereign space, I'm not responding until I wish to respond, you know.
But the thing is, why do you have to explain yourself?
Of course, I know. Well, for me, I was moving through the teacher mode as usual. I'm aware of that. And that's why I was in tears, because I was like, I came in with kindness again for the second time. I only did twice now that I've played the experiment. You know me, I always try. Because there've been emails, there've been this, there've been that, like long things. And I was like, right, let me respond to one line in that thing. And I didn't even read those things. Let me respond to one line. Anyway, you know, I sat in tears and lesson learned again. Lesson learned, but yeah.
Okay, so let me give you this vision. Okay, so this next time this happens, because we've spoken about this quite a few times over the last 4 years. Okay, so let's just hypothetically say you get another incident like this. I want you to bring to the forefront of your imagination Gandalf,
Yes.
No, Gandalf?
Yes.
Lord of the Rings. Okay,
Yes.
now Gandalf's a very pleasant dude. You know, he loves his fireworks. He loves his, you know, his carriage, his horse. He loves his pipe. Very cool dude. He's of the light.
Yes.
However, you know, when he encounters someone dark, do you think he's going to sit there and teach them?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, really.
No.
Listen to this now.
No, he's not.
He is of the light.
Yes.
There's no discussion there.
Yes.
You are of the light. There's no discussion. He's a teacher in his own right.
Yes.
Because he's a wizard. He teaches people. He's
Yes.
there to guide people.
Yes.
Okay, so do you think that when he's confronted with a dark force, he stands there and says, "Okay, my son, let me teach you something"?
No.
Okay, I rest my case.
Yeah. Great example. Thank you.
Sometimes you have to be a general.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to be the emperor. Sometimes you have to be the king.
Yeah.
The king and the emperor is, there's a difference between the king and the emperor. The emperor is got a little bit more ego. The king has a lot more wisdom.
Yeah.
However, the king understands what it is to interact with the poor and with royalty. There's a great understanding there. But when the king needs to defend his kingdom, or the Queen Elizabeth, I love that movie. Yeah. Queen Elizabeth needs to defend her kingdom. You think she's going to sit there with the Spanish and say, "Okay, you know, let me teach you something"? No.
I know.
Okay, so when that arises again, I understand where you're coming from, but I'm trying to teach you something here, because
got you.
However, you can sit there for 1,000 years.
I know, till I'm blue in the fucking face.
It's
never going to be received.
No.
I know.
So when
and
you
that's why I sit in tears today. I got you. One day when I'm old and grey, a little Gandalf myself, perhaps. You shall not pass.
I love that. There we go. Let that be your motto.
Yeah.
Hold that space, right? When you get somewhere, because you will know when someone's writing an email, okay? Or if you'll pick up the energies, because you're very intuitive. You pick it up. Yeah. Okay, so you're just right there. You shall not pass. That's it. That's all the explanation you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You shall not pass.
Yeah. Got you. Copy
it's simple. That. And then they can be triggered as long as they want. They'll carry that into their next life. I promise you.
No, I know that. I can see that. I can see that. I can fully see that. 100,000%. Very much so.
So, I mean, this aspect of endings, like you were talking about, okay, everything's ending now. The rental aspect, moving into a new, aligning with a new method of teaching. The aspect of the X out of the way. Thank God. Praise
the Lord.
Oh my God. Jesus. Yeah, no, okay. Well, you know my stand on that for the last 3 years, 4 years.
I know.
Anyway, so but you know, there's a freshness, there's a new chapter coming in, I think, for everybody. And it will present itself in different areas of your life, in terms of your work, where you live, your relationships. I mean, for me also, I'm selling my house that I've been in for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
I'm moving. I don't know where I'm going. The relationship that I'm having obviously has to end now, because I'm moving out of Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Getting on with my life. And
I thought, I had a feeling and intuition about that as well. It's just feeling that within your space as well.
Well, I can't do long distance. So it doesn't work for me. So
yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you may as well. Yeah, you're right.
so yeah, I think everybody's stepping into a new chapter, a new
Yes.
sense of being. The important thing is that you have a sense of clarity and a sense of clearing
Yes.
before you
Very
step
much
into
so.
that new chapter, because you don't want to carry that shit with you.
Like that.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, well, I mean, that's that. I don't know how long we've been on the show. I can't see with my phone on.
Sorry, it's 40 minutes.
Okay, so we still got time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did this beautiful ceremony last week, private ceremony. Even though I was a bit ill, I got my team to sort of help me out for the mushroom part of it, and then the next day did the breath work, which I really loved doing the breath work. I love teaching the breath work. It's so powerful.
Well, I told you at one stage, breathwork is the future.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean,
it's the beginning and the end. Whatever you do in between is it falls in with the alignment.
yeah.
But the breathwork is the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
So it's very important. It's very important.
It's so incredible. Yeah. And again, a European client that it was very interesting, you know, he was asking me, obviously he came to me through my talk that I did. And then while sitting by the fire on the first night of our retreat space, he was like, well, how, you know, you speak of watching the universe unfold in front of you as you are the channel to receive guidance for the next part of the leg of your journey, you know, to an extent. You know, watching for signs, watching for symbols, waiting for this, knowing what's in alignment, knowing what's out of alignment. And his question was sort of like, how actively are you participating in the creation of your future? And then I said something like, I said, well, dare I be so bold, but you happen to be sitting here. You're an entrepreneur from Europe. I'm looking to go to Europe. The course of how I do my work is about to change. You are seeking a purpose-driven set of values within your life, which means your career/purpose is about to change. But inevitably, people at this level are here to be of service. So can you assist me? Because da 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 da. And what industry did you come from? And I just laid out the whole plan of my whole entire Europe trip. And he was like, oh. And I was like, see, I didn't have to do much. I just needed to share with you. And he was like, oh wow, so is that how it works? I was like, we'll see how it works. We'll see.
So let's
Hello.
Yeah, Julia had another 3 seizures this week.
Shame, man.
Yeah, one after the other. It was hectic.
But the energies are intense.
Yes, it was. I mean, I've been through this life and many lifetimes seeing people die, and I can handle that shit. But
I know, watching animals.
My children, it's hectic.
No, it's not easy. No.
Yeah. So I'm just going through a burnout now.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I had a vision the night before that she was going to get a seizure. And with the seizure before, I had a vision as well. So
Okay.
I had the vision the night before, and I was sitting here in my office and I was doing work, and I heard something. I got up. She was having a seizure. Then she got up. Then she had another seizure. Then she got up. Then she had another seizure. So, and it's traumatic, man. I was finished.
I know.
Yeah.
Is she on any CBD oil? That'll probably assist her.
No, I took her to the vet.
Yeah.
Because I had her on some natural stuff.
Okay.
And then I was timing the the days in,
the gaps, yeah.
the gaps in between, and it wasn't changing. It was sticking to 16, 18 days around about there. So every 2 weeks, basically.
Yes.
And
full moon cycles.
Yeah, and I've had her on this now, this herbal medicine for 2 months. Yeah, but this one, no, I took her straight to the vet. So we've got her on tablets now. I'll see now if the days change.
Okay. Yes.
We'll see.
Your next evaluation,
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Shame and blessings. Shame.
So yeah, it's been it's been.
Yeah, there's a big death theme. I mean, it was inevitable. It is here. I've also been feeling it within my family space, as I said to you, initially with my granny and now with my father. And I'm also, it's very interesting just witnessing it. You know, I don't know if my intuition is right or wrong or on or off. You know, and the death theme that I may be feeling within the family may just be my endings and beginnings. I've also been sick, which makes you feel like death kind of vibe, but it's just been an analysis of the stories one creates around these processes, and yeah, it's just been interesting.
Well, I think it's a combination of a few things there.
Within my space.
Yes, that's what I'm seeing. And I think it's a presentation of what you need to address before you move into your new chapter.
Yes, of course.
You know, it's that aspect of working through things and aligning things. So it could be a ancestral. I'm picking up an ancestral thing. Okay, sorry, that the light just went off. There's an ancestral karma that needs to be cleared. Aspect of your dad, I don't know, I'm picking up the heart a little bit, but it's more in his like
legs.
His well, I don't know if it's the heart, because the heart pumps the blood. So there's something there I'm picking up. Aspect of your mom is actually in a very, there's an opening that's coming for her. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Yeah. She's standing, and there's an opening, and it becomes lighter and lighter. The thing with your mom is not to rush it. She will take one step. She'll take, because I see her, she takes one step, and then she looks, and then she kind of like, okay. Ooh, let me take a little bit. Because she's looking at a flower now, and she wants to look at the flower and see what she's going up close. So she examines things up close.
Yes.
She doesn't look at the vista and say, okay, you Ascension, yeah, baby, here I come, you know, and then run into the field of poppies. No. She like takes a step, and she's got her hands behind her back. So which means that she's observing. She's observing, you know, and she's pretty serious about this. And so, but she started in a new space now. Yes, your gran is, okay, I don't know if I should say this. Go for it. Yeah, she's preparing. Yeah. Because I see a lot of memories going through her mind. So there's almost like it's like a nostalgic memory lane kind of thing. Well, she's done a lot of clearing now with my mom while my mom was there the last time. So okay, they were doing a lot of clearing work with my mom and her, and my sister and her, and so, and yeah, it's very important. That does make sense, yeah. Because especially when you get to that age, you know, you should be doing this every day of your life, right? Of course. Whether you're 21 or you're 96. Yeah. You are clearing your karma, so that when you do, because you never know when you are going to move to the other side or move on. Yeah. You know that when that moment happens, okay, I've settled all my debts, in the sense of I've forgiven that one. I've spoken to that one. you know, you should have that process of influence with you every single day. It's not easy, no, of course, but I feel that your gran, and there's a very a comforting energy around her that's supporting her through this process.
Etheric energy.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like holding space for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is wonderful.
Good. Yes. Yeah. She knows that.
Because that's what I'm sensing. Because I'm already starting to see the different lights coming in, you know, when you get closer to that aspect of moving on.
Yes.
Yeah, I know I know the frequency, so I see it. It's the beginning stages. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful.
So.
Yeah. So there's a lot happening within my family as well, which is also,
Yes.
I think that's, yeah, you know, that's this prep space of me also just being down, just lying down.
Yeah, and an important thing to remember is that even though, because a lot of family members don't get along, you know, so even if you are not, hang on, let me rephrase this. Even if the energy, sorry, does not allow you, or something's just come in. Okay. Even if the presence of your experiences with family or close friends are toxic, you have to find a way of detaching yourself from that, even if they are family members. Just because it's a family member doesn't mean that you have to keep on continuously defending yourself or continuously
explaining yourself.
Yes. So even if it's with a family member or even a close friend or a partner, these are important things to look at, guys. It's time to start making healthier choices for yourself. So even if you are not in that position that you are, where you kind of have a healthy, it's a healthy engagement with your family.
Yes.
Some people don't have that,
yes.
but they still feel like they're trapped in that position.
Paradigm. Yeah.
That paradigm. You need to say, okay, no longer, I'm stepping out of this. I'm blocking you. I'm not talking to you. That's it.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Because the more,
because it's all done together, right? It's all this intermingled, you know, if they pass and you haven't said that, you're going to have to
you're still attached to their karma.
Yes.
That's the thing. So
then this is what you're saying, the other side of the karma. It's like saying the good things, but also saying the boundary things, like, okay, I'm not doing this another lifetime again.
Yes, because you will, if you don't do that, you are already attached to their karma and they are attached to yours, and that will carry on into your next life.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's the same as if somebody comes to me and says, they give me
so I guess before you continue, you may not need to solve the issue, even though you may see the solution. No, but as long as you verbalize and go, hey,
that's it.
Not my monkey, not my story anymore.
I'm blocking you. I don't want to be involved.
Yeah.
You detach.
Because you are going to carry on this trauma generation for whatever your next life, but I will not, because I see it, and I'd love to help you, but you're not ready yet.
No, but it's also even you don't even have to take it that far. If it works out or it evolves, that person comes back afterwards and says, okay, I apologize. Yeah. I need to take a deeper look at how I behave or my toxic whatever. Good. Well, fine. That's great.
Yeah.
But you it just went so quickly. Sorry. It's when things come in, you know, the stuff goes so quickly. The important aspect is that you are standing in your power.
Yes.
That is very important. So when you say to someone, if it's a family, if it's a close friend, even a colleague at work, doesn't matter, or a family member or a partner, saying, look, I'm not prepared to do this any longer because I value myself. I value the presence of my energy, and you are just pouring toxic fumes in my lovely garden setting here, and I'm not going to allow it anymore. So I'm blocking you. You go and sort out your toxic waste. When and if ever you do that, right, and you're healthy enough to come into my garden, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm going to. I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You are standing in your power. When I say standing in your power, you are protecting your garden.
Yeah.
Because just think of it this way. It's another visionary like Gandalf, right? You shall not pass. Right. So if you've got a beautiful garden that you've worked on, and you've got these amazing flowers, and it's fresh, and there's bees and there's butterflies, and it's just amazing, right? Then you get all your toxic family coming in there, right? And your friends, and they've got fucking gas and fucking shit coming off their body, and they're standing there, and and it starts killing the flowers, and it starts eroding the grass. That's like a vision.
Yeah, of course.
You are allowing that to happen. You are not standing in your power. You are not protecting your energy. You are not protecting your garden. Right? So you need to call the waste removal people.
Yeah.
Get that shit out of it.
Your own empowered state.
Correct.
Yeah, of course.
It's also sometimes just important to visualize, because you and I can say toxic people.
Yes.
But you really need to think. If you visualize it and you say, okay, well, I've got this beautiful garden. This is my essence, this is my presence. Now I've got some family member come here.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful. Feels beautiful. Yeah.
And now you've got nuclear waste.
Yeah.
Logically, what would you do?
Yeah, you would say, please do not cross my white picket fence. Yeah.
Blow them up. Send them into another dimension. Go back to your toxic wasteland. You want to live there? Fine. Great.
Yeah.
I'm living on this side of the healthy hill.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. So there's another visualization, you know. Yeah. Sometimes just to put it into perspective, because you can say these words toxic, but some people sometimes don't really grasp onto that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is not an easy process. For some people, it will take years to get rid of toxic people in their life. For some, it will take a second.
Yes.
People that are healthy, that have strong boundaries, that stand in their power, will say, no. I don't accept that kind of behavior.
Yes.
You're not welcome here. Yeah. You know? So it's dependable, but it's important.
And I think this is the thing, you know, like, and it was in my little 2-minute video that I did today. I'll pop it on Instagram later. But basically, it's like we've become so accustomed to becoming yes people, to being yes people, and that we've become a compliant nation of people, or nation of souls on planet Earth, without even registering the amount of toxicity that we are allowing into our space, because it's just, we were taught to say yes and and we've forgotten about the power of the fucking no. You shall not pass.
Yes.
You know, and that was what my video was about this morning. So, you know, that power in that no, and then you watch what comes from that no. Woof. You want to start to know people and understand people. You know, when you give that no and see what retaliates back to you, then you're really watching a person in their soul aspect. Because when you say yes, you're always receiving the nicety back. But the moment you stand in your power and give a no, see what comes back at you, and then start seeing the nature of a person.
Yes.
You know, and it might not be their full entirety. It might still be wounding and triggers and all this shit, but we don't have time for it anymore, you know? So, yeah, the power of the no. It's a beautiful teaching.
Yeah. And I mean, people are influenced, you know, they're scared of what other people will think. I mean, that's an aspect on social media. It's everywhere. It's like ingrained, you know, and
it takes bravery.
Yeah.
It takes bravery to to look after oneself. I mean, it seems counterintuitive, but it's like it takes a brave soul to be like, no, yes, no, you, yes, you know, like, and that is manifesting your reality. That is mastering oneself.
Yeah.
But people
And
are not used to it.
I would say first and foremost, before courage, because courage is a, you know, if you have courage, it's a presence of purity.
Yes.
But before that, you need the presence to know
Yes.
that this is toxic for you.
Awareness. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. Are we at our closing?
We are. We're at 1 hour. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Justine, and thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
if you
guys.
have any questions, please pop us any questions you may have.
Yeah. So I know you weren't feeling well. Obviously, the last 10 days.
Week, yeah.
So, but next week Monday, I'll pull a card for
May as well do April. I mean, we're already in the.
Well, what I can do is the from the full moon.
Yes.
On the 18th.
Yes.
To the end of April, because it's a 6-week period. So it's yeah. So I'll pull some cards for next week Monday.
Join us for Galactic Tarot, guys. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Love you, Justine.
Au revoir.
Cheers. Au revoir.
Ciao. Oh, do I have to